Morax, he's a 5 stars hero with Dark Element and Sorcerer class, Offensive Hero class. According to his base stats, he has average base stats and is good at Vitality. Morax's passive ability: every time the enemy uses a special skill that can boost health, Morax will get 5% mana. This passive ability shows that Morax will be very good against enemies with health boost abilities. Morax has innate resistance against status ailments and negative stacks that affect mana generation. Morax's innate resistance ability is very useful for dealing with heroes who have the Sorcerer class and skills to slow down mana generation, but Morax's ability still can't prevent status ailments that stop mana or steal mana. First skill effect: Morax deals 400% damage to the target and minor damage to nearby enemies. The percent damage done by Morax is counted as semi-sniper on the target, and to nearby enemies, the damage percentage is counted as minor damage. Second skill effect: the target gets minus 24% mana generation for 4 turns. In my opinion, this second skill is actually good, because Morax can reduce mana generation by minus 24%, but this ability is still less effective, because only one enemy is affected, knowing that Morax also has an average mana speed. When compared to Abilty, who has fast mana but can give the same effect, or even Leon's costume, which can have a greater effect, slowing down mana generation by minus 34%. According to this comparison, Morax's abilities were almost completely useless. Third skill effect: reduces max health of the target's nearby enemies by 400. Max health can't be lower than 30% of the original max health. I think the effect of this third skill is good, because it can reduce the maximum HP of nearby enemies, and this counts as additional damage, apart from direct damage. Fourth skill effect: Element Link gives all Dark allies immunity to new fiends for 4 turns. This effect cannot be dispelled. Just like the effects of the previous Hero of the Month, Morax can also provide an immunity effect against fiends, to allies whose elements are the same as himself. Attack score: B+, based on Morax's basic stats, class, passive ability and the special skill effects he has. His basic attack is average, his class that allowed him to reduce mana generation. His passive ability is also great, which allows him to get 5% mana each time the enemy uses a special skill that can boost health, and the skill effect that shows that Morax is an attacking hero with average strength. Overall defense: B. Morax has average mana speed, but he has enough hit points, which makes him capable of taking hits. Therefore, Morax is suitable to fill the position of tank and flank. Titan score: B. In Titan attacks, a deadly combination is needed in order to provide the highest attack score. The combinations needed are: elemental defense down, defense debuff, attack buff, high tile damage, and attack stack. Therefore, Morax is not highly recommended, because judging from his basic stats, class, passive skills, and special skills, Morax does not meet any of the requirements to be on the Titan attack team. Raid tournaments: B. Judging from Morax's abilities, in the Rush attack tournament, because he had an average mana speed, he had an advantage, but the effect of his skills didn't have much impact in combat. In the Buff Booster tournament, Morax's damage rate is average, and he doesn't have the ability to dispel or debuff, so Morax is not really an option in this tournament. In the Bloody Battle tournament, Morax's abilities will be quite helpful, but in terms of strength, Morax still cannot be used as the main damage dealer. His overall grading is B. Conclusion: my assessment of Morax is a bit disappointing. It's because of the special ability he has. Passive ability and innate resistance is fairly good, but his special skill has some drawbacks, such as his second skill, Morax's mana slowing effect, is quite low for heroes with average mana speed. If you want to compare with Abilty and Leon's costume, Morax has lost both in mana speed, nor the mana slowing effect. Next is his third skill. The maximum HP reduction effect only affects nearby enemies, and has no effect on the target. Even if the Morax skill had an impact on the target and nearby enemies, with the same ability, his ability is still inferior, when compared to Horse, who has very fast mana speed, or Era and Fluffy, because with her average mana speed, she can target all enemies. It can be concluded, judging from Morax's abilities, there are still many other alternative heroes who have similar powers to Morax, but are much stronger, as I mentioned earlier. I think he's a not-so-must-have hero.